This is episode 150 of the Rise Up Podcast. We're a morning radio show hosted by Steve and Tim on Family Life, a network of stations across New York and Pennsylvania. This podcast is a weekly conversation designed to help you think and laugh and keep your eyes on Jesus. If you haven't already, subscribe today so you don't miss a single episode. And find out more about our show at familylife.org.
Thanks for making us part of your morning routine. It's Rise Up with Steve and Tim on Family Life.
It's that time of year, Steve.
Oh, boy.
You could really say that any time of year.
Yeah,
It is literally always that time of year. But this is a special time of year.
Right.
Looking back, looking forward. Looking back at what we predicted last year, because there's a little bit of a Rise Up Podcast tradition,
right,
to predict for what's coming up the next year. 3 predictions. Each host makes 3 predictions. This time we're going to look back at our 3 predictions each, and we're going to look forward. We're going to shoot them out for next year and see what we got coming in 2025.
What are the chances of people remembering what we predicted? We could just say anything. However,
well, we didn't remember.
No,
we had to review.
We did go back and actually listen, and you could too, I guess.
Sure.
But anyway.
Well, so let's start with Steve.
All
what
right.
was one of your first ones from last year that you predicted for 2024?
I thought, remember how big last year with the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift relationship? And I predicted that they would not be married.
Right. That was your specific relationship prediction. So...
Right.
Thinking you're getting that one.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a secret elopement that we didn't know about.
Something I don't know about. But
Right.
I actually thought that even though I made they wouldn't be married, deep down I thought, well, this isn't going to last. But they're still, as far as we know, together.
Right.
So I'm not going to make any more predictions about that one. So I guess I'm 1 for 1 as far as we know. Yeah,
that's pretty good. Okay.
Not get married.
Okay. Well, I don't get to start out quite as strong as yours, Steve. Admittedly, mine was a bit more, it's pretty specific. I was banking on seeing a trend in the coffee world. I thought people were going to start getting a little fizzy with their coffee and mixing seltzer and coffee, or seltzer and cold brew, seltzer, sparkling water with espresso. We didn't really see that happen in any big way in the last year. I won't say I'm too disappointed because I've never tried it. It doesn't really sound all that great, but I thought it sounded like something that some coffee head somewhere would try out. You can find recipes for this online.
Okay.
But they're not like specific to something going on, hot in 2024, try this out. So I can't really give myself seltzer coffee. But if any, enterprising coffee startups hear this and want to give us a shout out, hey, we're still here.
All right.
Still here.
Here we go.
Waiting for seltzer coffee in 2025.
Can we go to, we had fashion. I did a little fashion.
Yeah, and this one is there's a bit of a contention over last year's fashion prediction from Steve.
I have found, and this goes back even a couple of years, I found that first I thought I was a mind ahead of my time, but apparently I'm a mind behind my time, because a couple of years ago, one of my predictions, this wasn't last year, 2 years ago, I think, I did, like those robo vacuum things and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I thought there'd be one of those for snow shoveling, and so I predicted that.
Right, I remember that.
And then I looked it up, and there already was.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I thought I was making it up, but there already was.
But you just have a brilliant mind for that kind of thing.
Thank you. And speaking of brilliance.
You're not going to go to the edible shoelaces from a couple of years back, are you?
No, I haven't done that one.
All right.
But I did predict last year that there would be, because there's the thing of fashion now with, it's been going on for a while. I guess it's still on for some, like no socks. For men.
Yeah,
men,
I guess.
They wouldn't wear socks and dress shoes, and they'd have a suit on, but no socks. So I predicted see-through, basically invisible, but see-through socks. And I thought, what a great idea.
Right.
See-through, put them on, but you can actually see through them. So, and I looked it up. They're already around. I went to like online things, and there's like see-through invisible socks. They're already there. I thought I was making it up.
Well, let's make a point of clarity here, Steve,
Okay.
because I think if the good folks of the Rise Up podcast world are willing to look back at last year's episode on this, I think what you had in view, Steve, is a little bit more like a cellophane sock.
Well,
like a
there's even black see-through socks that I've seen online now. So
but they're not made out of clear plastic wrap or anything, I hope, right?
No.
So
is that considered a true? Was I correct or not correct? But
I think we just have to say that your brilliance goes matched before you, Steve.
Thank you.
Matched like a pair of socks.
See-through,
hot from
invisible
the dryer.
socks.
Did they melt in the dryer because they were made out of cellophane? I don't know.
Never thought about that.
Can I go on to one of mine from last year?
Sure.
I had, and I really thought this was pretty brilliant. I thought we were going to see somebody try to get AI on the ticket for the presidential race. And as far as we know, nobody tried. And I thought it would just be like one of those, like the guy who changed his name to literally anybody else. Kind of like one of those gimmicky things on the ballot for president.
Right.
So it didn't even happen in that sense that I know of. But I did find, Steve, that there is some group that wants to, they're calling it AI Abraham Lincoln.
I like that.
And they want to have him run or have an AI of sorts run for president in 2028. Wow. And that was announced in this past year. Huh. So AI Abraham Lincoln, it didn't happen this presidential election, right, but hey, be looking for AI Abraham Lincoln.
Maybe they listened to our podcast and got the idea from you.
And I haven't seen if they were willing to credit us in their campaign efforts, but we'll be seeing how the trail looks in 2028.
I just love that name.
So it is pretty clever.
Abraham Lincoln.
And your last one from last year,
yeah,
Steve,
what was that?
You were going to the car lot.
Oh,
for EVs and some predictions you had there.
Yeah, I just had to think because I test drove a couple of EVs and I thought I just didn't feel comfortable. I was like, I'm not. So I predicted that the sales of electric vehicles would not significantly increase in 2024, and I don't know if I'm right or not on this one because I'm looking at the EV market share matched a new high. EV sales were up 11%.
I don't know if that's significant.
Yeah, is that significant or not?
I now know somebody, though, Steve. I didn't before. Mm-hmm. Now I know somebody personally who has one of these all-electric vehicles, and I didn't before last year. So I don't know if that's significant, though. It's just one data point.
Electric trucks are not taking off as people had hoped. So I was somewhat in there. So I would have to say that I was correct in that prediction, but they haven't significantly. I would think automakers would have wanted to go up more than 11% for something so brand new.
I'm definitely more willing to give you that than see-through socks.
Yeah, but what if the driver wasn't wearing? What if the driver was wearing see-through socks? And what if Travis, and
Will
and Taylor,
you marry me? Driving by in
with no socks,
see-through socks, and a Cybertruck. That's a sight.
Yeah, I didn't predict that.
No, and nor I do. How about this one? So I said we were going to be seeing, because there was a big drought of entertainment, really, kind of with the couple years back with the pandemic slowing down things in Hollywood, and then the strikes in Hollywood with the actors. Thought there were going to be a lot of old movies kind of being put into theaters, not reboots, just like, hey, it's back again because you liked it before. And interesting point on that prediction I had, Steve. My wife and I recently were like, we haven't seen a movie in like a year and a half. Let's see if we can go out and see a movie together. Okay. Well, we couldn't. Nothing was really very interesting to us in theaters. No surprise there, except the one thing we did want to see was a re-release, a 10-year anniversary re-release of our favorite movie. So
there you
kind
go.
of. Yeah. So in some senses, I do think we did see that happen a little bit last year, or this past year.
All right.
Movies coming back because they're saying, we didn't have anything new. Can I start with my first prediction for 2025, tailing off of that?
Let's quickly go through them. Here we go.
On movies. I'm sticking with movies here.
Okay.
I still think, Steve, people still won't care about superhero movies like they used to. In the Marvel movies used to be all the big rage, but they kind of fizzled out. They're going to try to bring it back, Steve. I know that this isn't too near and dear to your heart. Okay. But there's some stuff they're doing in those superhero movies to try to get people to care about them again.
Wow.
I don't think it's really going to take off for this next year.
Okay. Well, speaking of taking off, I'm going with drones. Drones deliver everything nowadays. Now there's going to be school drones that will bring the kids lunch or homework they forgot. They'll be allowed to do that. Lunch and mixing homework. And maybe the sneakers for gym class they forgot.
Okay, Steve. I don't consider myself much of a wheeler and dealer of the stock market or anything like that. But I'm saying 2025 is going to be a year all things cryptocurrency, going to be back in the public eye in a big way.
Wow.
This last whole end of 2024, for folks that did follow it, was really wild for Bitcoin and such. Wild in a good way. And with, I'll save the political stuff, but I do think this is going to be a year where even if you don't care about it, you're just going to be hearing about it. Cryptocurrency is going to be a big part of topic of conversation this year, I think.
All right. I think you can bet on this one, money-wise or anything else you want to do. I'm not a betting man, but I don't want to make this too personal, but I predict that sometime during this year, I'll repeat a humorous anecdotal yarn to Kevin Williams on the radio. Just maybe the same one you've heard 103 times already.
When you say repeat, I mean...
Yeah. It just... I think you can bank on that one.
I think so.
Yeah.
If we're talking about predictions that are the slam dunk going to get.
Right. And I have control over that, so maybe that's not a fair one, but still.
Do you have control over it, though?
Well, you're right. Oh, here comes another one.
Try not to. How about that for
Okay.
the snick now?
All right.
Okay, last one I've got here, Steve, and it's also going to stick with the whole entertainment and technology type thing, because that just kind of interests me when you're looking ahead to a new year.
Mm-hmm.
AI videos are going to take over people's feeds. Your social media feeds and everything are going to be just crammed with fake videos of things that do not exist and look indistinguishable from reality. There's technology, I've seen this, it's pretty new. It's getting released to the general public soon. AI videos are going to take over basically everything. And when I asked AI, because I did this, I asked AI to make a prediction about AI for the next year. It said that there were going to be a lot more of this type of thing going on. So, I mean, even AI says so at this point.
All right. My last prediction, obviously, about my humorous anecdotal yarns repeating is pretty much of a slam dunk. But this one, I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to go, this is a crazy one, but it's back to fashion a little bit. Remember this year we learned about the Zarf?
Yes, the Zarf, the coffee cup sleeve, the plastic or the cardboard coffee cup sleeve. Yeah.
Even talked to a relative of the inventor.
The granddaughter herself.
Right. All right. So I'm going fashion. And you're like, fashion with a Zarf? Yes. It's going to be that the Zarf keeps your coffee warm. But how about to keep your neck warm, the Zarf scarf? It's a Zarf scarf. You slip it over your head. Slip it over your head and put it down on your neck, and it's a Zarf scarf. I'm predicting there'll be a Zarf scarf in 2025.
What's your range of motion with the Zarf scarf?
Well, they're still working on it. It hasn't been invented, but they have a whole year to come up with it. Zarf scarf. You heard it here first.
Oh, we hope it's a really great new year. Even better than we could predict. Yes, even than we could predict.
Yes. The Zarf scarf.
Here we go. It's another new day. You're listening to Rise Up with Steve and Tim on Family Life.
Is everything sad coming untrue? That question that gets asked in the Lord of the Rings novels by J.R.R. Tolkien by one of the characters.
If you say so.
Well, right. Yeah, you'd have to take my word for it, wouldn't you, Steve? I love that question, though, because I'm thinking God's faithful could ask that after the Messiah came. Is everything sad coming untrue now? Does this change everything? I mean, imagine the shepherds that next day after they had met Jesus the night before, little baby Jesus. Well, God is with us now. The Messiah is born as a baby. It's like the too good to be true came true. The Messiah who will end oppression. The Messiah who will wipe away every tear. So for us today, the life, the death, the resurrection, and the kingdom of that little baby means now all things work together for good for those who trust him. When the too good to be true comes true, everything sad starts coming untrue.
We hope the rest of your day is just as much fun as this. You're listening to Rise Up on Family Life.
Oh, you threw out a Lord of the Rings quote there.
I did.
Yeah.
Thank you for tolerating that.
Well, no, I just didn't watch that. I was
Right.
when I was your age, I was busy watching the Three Stooges. That kind of thing. I mean, it's all, we all have our own personalities and different things. But we just heard Joy to the World. And I'm going to throw out, which I know a quote that you love, a good C.S. Lewis quote.
Oh, I'm always here for that. Yes, please.
Yes, C.S. Lewis talked about joy. And maybe you laugh at me when I go Three Stooges, and that's silly. And yeah, it is. And too much of anything is. Anyway, joy. How about this C.S. Lewis quote? Joy is the serious business of heaven.
I love that.
Oh, I love that. Makes me want to go, no.
May the blessings of the Lord be with you in all that you do today. This is Rise Up on Family Life.
'Twas the day after Christmas, and all across the land, relations packed cars, prepared to disband. The holiday was merry, the food, it was great. Now thoughts turned to traffic and getting home late.
A place has been found in the car for each gift. You might even have room to give your family a lift. And tied to the roof for your homegoing travels, that white elephant sweater in hopes it unravels.
We've looked forward so long that it's hard to let go. Eggnog and tinsel don't make it that way, though. The time spent together, not the gifts, made it brighter. The luggage is heavy, but our hearts somehow lighter.
All the things that you cherish, you just want them to stay. Who knows what will change by next Christmas Day? Every moment entrusted to your Father in heaven, we can't know the future. Our task is the present.
Another kiss for Grandma, a high five for nephews. Christmas Day may be gone, but it's the love that we can't lose. God holds each moment, a lesson to remember from the day after Christmas, the 26th of December.